The State Corporations Advisory Committee wants the entire board of the Youth Enterprise Development Fund to be held collectively responsible for the embezzlement of 180 million shillings that belongs to the kitty. The money was paid to Quorandum Limited early last year in a fictitious contract for services that were never rendered. For more details, we're now joined by our reporter Patrick Amimo from Parliament. Patrick, what are some of the recommendations that the advisory committee made?
Thank you. Indeed, this is a matter that is still ongoing. The National Assembly's Public Investments Committee is still investigating this matter and has invited various individuals who can shed light on what really transpired over these 180 million shillings loss. And today, early this morning, the State Corporations Advisory Committee did appear before this House Committee and told them that the Youth Enterprise Development Fund flouted the Treasury directives that had been issued way back in 1992 and latest in 2002, which advised that should there be any excess funds, such funds should be invested in treasury bills or treasury bonds, and in case the fund wanted to invest that excess money in commercial banks, then it was supposed to seek treasury approval. But in this particular event, it appears that the Youth Enterprise Fund did not seek treasury approval when it invested 400 million shillings into the Chase Bank. So this particular money has been was said it was done irregularly to Chase Bank account. It was deposited without following treasury approval. And also with regard to the 180 million shillings that was lost, the Secretariat says, this advisory committee says that this was contrary to the provisions of the Youth Enterprise Fund. So they are asking that the entire board takes collective responsibility over the loss of these particular funds. And the other issue, as I'm talking at the moment, the former Principal Secretary for Devolution and Planning, Peter Mangiti, is before the committee and is also giving his side of the story with regard to the loss of these funds. And so far he's told the committee that when this matter came to his attention in October last year, and yet the money had been paid by April last year, because the first payment of 115 million shillings was done in February, then the second payment of 65 million shillings was done in April. But the former PS Mangiti says that this matter came to his attention in October last year. That's when he had to ask for a board meeting, and during that particular board meeting, he is now accusing the former suspended CEO Catherine Namue that she denied knowledge of the existence of a letter that made her a sole signatory of that Chase Bank account where 180 million shillings was paid to this quorandum limited company in that fictitious deal. The former PS has also told the committee that he tried to inquire from Namue to get more details about these particular documents. The suspended CEO was very dodgy. She did not give him the documents, and he says that he did advise the youth board to start investigations over this particular matter and invite the CID placed together with the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission. But strange enough, he says that the chairman of the board, that's Bruce Odhiambo, decided to invite the CID only to investigate this matter and left out the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission, yet it was a matter that was touching on economic crime. On inquiries from Bruce Odhiambo on why he preferred the CID to the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission, he says now Bruce Odhiambo was very reluctant to invite the EACC over to investigate this particular matter until he took his own personal intervention on the 4th of November. That's when he wrote personally to Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission, inviting detectives from that body to come and investigate this particular colossal loss of money at the Youth Enterprise Fund. So the former PS Mangiti is still giving his side of the story before the committee, but so far he has said that the former suspended CEO Catherine Namue was very reluctant. She denied knowledge of the existence of this letter. And remember, last week also Namue was before the committee, and she was about to be declared hostile, because she was also not very willing to tell the committee about this, to confirm the existence of these letters and whether she signed off the amount, until she was pressured by the committee after she was threatened that they should be declared a hostile witness. That's when she now came out and agreed that she really signed documents allowing Quorandum Limited to access the 180 million shillings for work that was never done. So it is a matter that is still ongoing, and we are still waiting. Maybe later in the day, as the story develops, will give you the ultimate nitty-gritty of this particular scandal.
Before I let you go, even as PS Mangiti appears before the Public Investments Committee, so far the number of people we've seen appear before that particular committee have been blaming a particular entity. It has been blame game so far. So what should we expect going forward as far as this youth fund probe continues?
This is a matter that is before the parliamentary committee. It's after they do all the investigations, after they invite all those people that are linked to this particular matter that they are probing, then the House committee will write a report on what it feels happened and also give its recommendations. That will come at the tail end of this particular probe, because even last week when there were matters that were discussed in camera, and we're not privy to that discussion on what really happened, because the suspended CEO requested to give some details, because she claimed that she signed this letter under duress releasing the 180 million shillings to Quorandum Limited. She claims that the members of the board had some vested interest into this particular matter, and that information she shared with the committee members in private. So we are not privy to that, and that will only come out when the House committee finally writes its report and tables it before the House for discussion and adoption.